Okay. That's fine. Let's let Mike get in here too. Then yesterday, right?
Recording in progress.
Okay. Progress, volume down to nothing. It's mute you and a good clip. Mike is recording. You're set up. We can just jump to here, but I'll be back here for now. We'll share that. Now we're going to share what first? Which one am I going to show first? They're barrels. Put that out. Golly. I gave it a simple sentence. I gave it a somewhat simple sentence to try and improve that, and it spent a long time thinking about it. Didn't understand it, that's why.
Hi. Hi, Mike. Good morning.
How are you?
Very nice, Mike. And you?
Good too. I haven't checked. Is Carla going to pick us up today?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm free.
Okay, there I see. I've received note from the class I take before 12 p.m. back in to go.
Mhm.
Wonder, wait till 11 p.m.
Mm. I wait your lesson, Mike. With pleasure. Will be present.
I hope so. I don't know who's going to be here, but I hope it's going to be pleasurable because it's not an easy subject to teach and hard.
Yes. But where are others? I don't see.
I don't see anybody yet either.
Yeah.
They'll be here. Everybody except for Mark. Mark won't be here.
Carol.
Good morning.
Buongiorno.
I'm gonna duck out today at 9:30 just to let you know I have an appointment, but
Okay. I believe this is being recorded, and I hope it's worthy of being saved. Got what, a couple more minutes before, right?
everyone stay dry overnight.
We had some heavy rain at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I kind of heard that at some point.
Morning.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, Sydney. You see the rainbow, Sydney?
No.
There was a big rainbow a few minutes ago.
Do you
Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Okay, hi everybody, but that's all you get to see of me because I'm doing stuff.
Hey, we're doing stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, well, I got a text. Wasubu, Teresa said she heard thunder already. Down here, we've got just mild rain and sunshine. So who knows what it'll be, yeah?
Yeah.
In Kailua, we have blue sky now.
Yeah.
Over here
Well,
too.
we got to determine in 2 hours. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay. It'll be good. It's not gonna, it's probably not gonna get really wet until this evening.
Yeah, that's what I read, but I don't know what weather's like for Teresa and Subu driving down. They're yeah, in a different area, right?
Yeah, Mililani, but they can save gasoline though. You're coming down that hill, you can
Oh,
just slide, right? It's yeah, that one place on H2 gets so wet. It's just like a cloud right above it, dropping rain. But
oh
once
my
you're
goodness.
okay,
We'll see.
we'll see. Yep.
Yeah, we'll see.
If I share the screen, it should be quicker, right? Share the screen. It's being recorded. I think we're set up, right? Okay. Remember Walter Trice? He wrote the book Backgammon Boot Camp. Still one of the best books for learning backgammon. And if it hadn't been for Raquel Welch in that movie, was a Kansas City Bomber, he wouldn't have realized that backgammon was not just like a straight race where you're trying to get ahead and run, but sometimes it's like roller derby.
Wow.
Let's see. Go, there we go. This is Foundation Lesson 6, the 12th of March, right between the storm fronts. Today we're talking about the contact game plan, the race, and timing. So, first of all, Word from our sponsor, okay? Backgammon is fun. Backgammon is fun because we get to hit blots. We get to hit blots and send them all the way back to the start. Why do we hit? Well, in the opening phase, we hit to take away half of our opponent's roll. They have to enter the blot before they can develop their position. In the racing game plan, we hit when we want to improve our standing in the race. We want to send them back a little bit. In the attacking game plan, we hit when we are trying to deny our opponent an anchor. Put 1, 2, 3 up on the bar. And take away maybe they have a slotted point already. Want to take that away. In the priming game, we hit to send our opponent's checkers back behind our primes. So those are reasons and they're more than just that, but those are reasons we'd want to hit in different parts of the game. So there are many reasons to hit. But maybe we need to think carefully about why we want to hit in the contact game plan, one that we're talking about today. Okay, now back to our regularly scheduled lessons. The CGP. But before we talk about this, U.S. Backgammon Foundation yesterday had a let me just go find it. I'll show it to you guys. This is something I'm eager to watch. They had something called Expert Session, and it was with our friend Frank Frigo, right? One of the, there's only a few of them, 3, I think, of multiple, of 3 two-time winning
So
backgammon world champions. Okay? So he did a session yesterday that because of what's yesterday? This was Wednesday. I couldn't get back in time. And so I didn't get to see it, but they recorded it and they put it up. So I'm really eager to watch this right here. And so what he discusses is the framework of decision science. So he'll dive deep into the mechanics of winning, and he won't just show you the right move. He'll teach you the science of how to find it. Okay? We'll talk about the anatomy of an error. And he breaks down how top-tier players identify their own cognitive biases and systematic weaknesses. So that's something that Frank has worked on, had an interest in for a long time, our cognitive biases. And thinks that a lot of players have that, and it causes them not to see the right play or to not even consider the right play. One of the things he talks about is building your performance rating development plan. So instead of just looking at matches and doing it aimlessly, learn how to create a structured, data-driven roadmap to lower your PR and track your growth. So one way that Dirk Schiemann has done that since he came back to backgammon, we had a 14-year period of not playing, and he used the Anki cards, the flashcards, with the what's it called, where they show you the card again when you don't know it really well, but if you know it pretty well, then it shows it to you much longer time period. So that's Frank. That was yesterday, day before yesterday, and I am really eager to watch it. So you guys might want to see it too. Is everyone who is a member, who is not a member of the USBGF?
Not a member.
Not a member. Okay, is there anybody who is a member?
I'm a member.
Kathy, okay.
I'm a member.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, I am a member.
Yeah, so you guys can see it directly, right?
Is it on the site?
It's on the site. They just put up this morning. And if you don't have it, I plan on watching it. So we can do that together sometime also. Okay? If you don't have US membership in USBGF. Okay, then we are this right here. Hiding all these extra floating point things. Okay, the contact game plan. Okay, what is the CGP? It's when we maintain contact when we are behind in the race. We want to either win the race or generate a blot, hit the blot, contain the blot, and win. So the contain the blot part, we use our priming game plan skills to make the prime and then roll that prime forward. So we build that prime from the back usually, and we roll it forward. So some people might say that the contact game plan is just the opposite of the racing game plan. So note about nomenclature. It's a term that I coined starting around about 2020. Okay. What I did was grouped together all of the types of contact games because they all have the same winning game plan. You generate a blot, hit the blot, contain the blot, and win. Okay, you may not have to go all the way to the point of bearing off, but maybe you can win by turning the cube. So that means the term CGP, the contact game plan, didn't always carry its current meaning. Right? Starting a few years ago, more people started using CGP for the amalgamation, the conglomerate, for all those different game plans together. So this, for example, you've seen this in similar positions. What's happening here? How do we play a 5-4? I need to get the video or audio of that file, the Jeopardy think tank. So you're white, you're bearing off to the right. How do you play a 5-4? Well, you can see
Well, I
it.
think you need to cover the 2.
Yeah, if we could, we do it. With a 5-4, oh, you can with a 5, with 8 to 7. That's a good one, right?
And then 10 to 6.
Okay, so that may be that may well be the best play. Okay. What is not the best play is 14 down or 2. Why is that not the best play?
You're losing the race.
We're losing the race, so we're going to be down a dozen pips if we make that play. Just make it easy for black to run home. So we're making the choice between keeping a racing, which we don't want to do in this position right here, because we're behind the race, and making a contact game plan out of this. So we're maintaining contact because we're behind in the race. So again, our winning plan is to get a shot, and sometimes we can help to generate that shot. Hit that blot, then win the game after we contain the blot or blots. So if we don't get a shot, our opponent might be dumping checkers deep into their inner board. They might be putting them on the 3, 4, and 5, a 3, 2, and 1 points. And eventually they'll have wastage in the bear off, which will help us again, right? So we do not do this right here. That would not be good. So if we play it right, the previous position is a contact game, and it's called a holding game. And what Walter Trice says is a roller derby match looks like a great chaotic whirling confusion, but one principle seems self-evident. A team that is ahead should try to avoid contact and race on to the finish. The trailing team should try to block the leading team and create, I should change that, create as much entanglement and general mayhem as possible. So there are many types of contact games. One of those types are they're called holding games. This is called a bar point holding game. And we have the bar point, and we're holding them. We're 20 pips behind, and we want to use that same methodology to win, right? Hit that block, contain it, win the game. This is a 5-point holding game. It's called a high anchor game. So the 5 and the 4 points are high anchor games. In this case, for the 5 anchor, this is called the golden point. Oh, I'm sorry, this is called the golden anchor. Oh boy. Making a note to change that. Because the golden, well, what has become, okay, when Paul McGrew wrote about this in his seminal book, Backgammon, he called it the golden point. But since then, to distinguish between the two 5 points, you call your opponent's 5 point the golden point, if you have an anchor there. And I'm sorry, the golden anchor, you call it the golden anchor. On your side of the board, it's called the golden point. Okay, so the golden anchor versus the golden point, to distinguish between whether it's their 5 point or your 5 point. So a couple lessons could be spent on this topic alone, because the 5-point holding game has become a cornerstone of modern backgammon theory. Why do people want to try and play a 5-point anchor game? Well, think about what it does to the game plan for your opponent. It's hard for them to play a priming game against you because you're right up here. They'd have to build it from their 7 point up to their 11 point. And it makes it hard for them to build an attacking game against you because you already got a place to come back in. Well, there are a lot of references that deal with having a 5 anchor. Okay, this is a 4-point holding game. It's also considered a high anchor. So in this case, we're behind 26 pips, which is better for us, right? Because we're going to have more of a chance than the previous position for getting and hitting a shot. This is a 3-point holding game. We're back on their 3-point. And a 2-point anchor game. So this is considered a deep anchor. And a 1-point anchor game or holding game. So these are all holding games. This is considered a deep anchor. Okay. So what can we say about all these guys if they're holding games? What are our chances of converting this position into a race? It's harder to convert into a race compared to this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, right? These are easier to convert into a race because we're further up. We may still be behind in the race, but we have it's easier for us to convert it to a race. Whereas a deep anchor is harder to convert to a race. What can we say about the chances of hitting a blot? Well, it looks like they're probably going to be higher here, right? If you've got infinite, if you could stay like this forever, you have a good chance of eventually getting a shot compared to these guys right here, right? Smaller and smaller chance of getting a shot. So where this one can convert it into a race more easily and you can win that racing part of it, the other side of it gives you more chance to get a shot. But our racing chances might be poorer. In this position right here, our opponent ran with the 6-5. We did the leverage leap. We rolled a 2-1 and we did the split. We dropped one down and we split. They rolled a 6-5 again and ran out. So now they have full freedom. They don't have any checkers in our inner board. So what is our opponent's game plan?
Racing.
Raise.
Racing, right? And what is our game plan?
Living.
Okay, so it's,
Contact.
Is that can
Contact.
yeah, CGP, right? Content game plans. We want to hit a blot.
you want to mute? Yeah, mute.
Okay, so what's the best way to do that? How should we play this 3-2?
Make an anchor on their 21.
Okay. Well, if we do that, I didn't make another one here, did I? I should have. If we make that anchor, then I should be able to switch easily to XG. Here's XG, and let's open something similar. We might have to modify right here. What is this? 1, 2? Yeah, this is it right here. Okay, 3-2. So if we play 3-2 by doing this right here, making it 21 point, I'm looking for it. There it is. Okay. We make this play right here. Then every roll that black has is safe for them. They can either, if they can't make a point out here or here, either the 5-point or 7-point or even the 9-point, they can dump checkers behind us. So everything is safe this way. Okay. Can we do better than this?
Bring 2 down.
We can bring 2 down, right? That's better because it maintains our checkers way back and a better chance of hitting them. Well, that's pretty good, right? Right there. That's what it looks like. Well, that's better, right? And then there are a number of plays where maybe we want to step up a little bit. Right? Push it
Like
to-
bring 1 down and then move. Yeah, exactly. Sorry,
Yeah, if we push this back checker a little bit, either with the 2 or the 3, then we have better coverage of their outfield. We have to leave a blot out here. So all these are good, right? Trying to just build our board up, but stay back. Even just putting 2 checkers there to build our board up. Pushing a little bit, right? And again, pushing a little bit again. And I'm looking for further. There we go. Okay, so all these other positions that we're pushing the back checker, so we're losing some coverage in our inner board, but we're gaining more ability to hit in the outfield, in their outfield. Okay, so in this position, we don't want to make that anchor because it allows them to dump checkers behind. Everything plays safely. We do this right here. Okay.
If you had a roll where you could make the 5 anchor, would you do that? The 5 or the 4? No.
No, and let's say we do that, and we have a roll that does that, right? Like a 3-4.
Mm-hmm.
The pip count would be 145 for them and 157 for us. So we're still behind by a dozen pips, and they can just run past us. So yes, there are times we want an anchor, right, for the safety to keep them from making a priming game, but they don't have a priming game against us right now. To keep them from attacking us, they don't have an attacking game right now. So right now they're just racing, and we are playing a contact game. So important to identify game plans and then play with that overriding thought in mind.
The previous boards that you showed the 5 anchor on their side. as being like the golden, I think you called it that.
Mm-hmm.
But is this too premature? Is that why?
Right, it's too premature.
Okay.
Okay, so this one, they've developed more. They've got a good prime, they've got a good attacking game both, and the safety of the anchor is good, is important, right? Okay.
Okay.
Mike, is it generally better to do two different things with the checkers, like one thing that supports what you're trying to do, one thing that sort of thwarts your opponent?
Well, yeah, if you read the literature, that's something they often say, right? But I don't buy it. If you can do something good on your side of the board and something that good on both sides of the board, then do a little bit of each, right? Sometimes it's better just to do something good on your side, or sometimes it's better to do something good on their side, right? Rather than doing a little bit of each. Okay? So I think that's an overused, what is that, an aphorism, recommendation, but I don't think it's generally applicable.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So here we have a 3-2, but the important thing is that this is a 5-point folding game, and we have a goalkeeper. This one's the goalkeeper. It makes it hard for our opponent to drop checkers behind our anchor. So sometimes that's good, but it can also get us gammon more often sometimes. Okay. So we discussed racing chance in each position. You look at that because that's a component of your game. One of the big components is, hey, we have good racing chances. Maybe we rolled a double six, and we could change it to a racing game. So we don't give up on that possible branch of the game. When we look at the chances of crashing in each position, if we are the ones that are playing the holding game, we don't want to crash our position. And we look at the chances of getting a shot in each position. So again, the deeper our anchor, that means the further back it is, the chance that we get a chance increases. The higher the anchor, the easier it is to convert into a racing game. So the formula that I like to use when I think about this is our winning chances are the racing game plan plus the contact game plan. Technically, the RGB is part of the CGP, but we break it out as two separate things, where the racing game plan becomes just racing, and the CGP becomes generating a blot, hitting that blot, and containing the blot and winning from there. So again, there are many types of holding games, and those are usually single anchor games. You might have a single anchor plus maybe a goalkeeper or another blot somewhere. And we really should study them all because they are common in usually modern backgammon. But we're going to focus on another type of contact game plan. Well, something completely different. Well, not really something completely different, but we have to pay homage to Mike Bygon. We're going to talk about the back game. What's a back game? It's a contact game plan with more than one anchor. 2, 3, 4 anchors. I can show you a game that I'm playing in one of the tournaments right now. I've got 3 anchors back there. So just like a holding game, there are many combinations of 2 anchors to make a back game. And the same thing holds in the contact game plans when we're playing a back game. The deeper it is, the deeper our anchors, the better chance of us getting a shot. Further up it is, the poorer chances we have of getting a shot, but we have a better chance of converting it into a racing game plan. Okay, so in Mochi's book, Master Class, there are 4 chapters. We talked about his strategic visualization chapter last week. And that's also, so that chapter in the book comes from a seminar he did in a couple of places in Dubai and a merit tournament also. And so he developed that into this chapter in the book. And because there were no good treatises on the back game, he wrote a chapter on the back games, okay, which is a good general guide to back games. And in the book, I'm not going to reproduce it here because it's just kind of a hand-waving thing that he does. He has a minimum pip deficit to take table. Minimum pip deficit to take. So basically, the deeper your back game is, the more pips you have to be behind in order to have a good game. Okay. So maybe if you're playing a 1-2 back game, you have anchors on the 1 point and the 2 point, then you want to be, and according to this table, at least 87 pips behind. And you actually even prefer to be 100 pips or even more behind in order to keep your position. So it can be worse to be closer in the race when you're playing a back game. So let's say instead of 87 pips behind in a 1-2 game, maybe there's only 40 pips difference. Why can that be worse? Because maybe you'll have to crash your position. So a term that is really important in back games and contact games is timing. And timing is the key to winning a contact game plan, and especially a back game. So what's timing? It's not just being behind in the race. You must be able to move your spare checkers without crashing your board. Okay. So take a look at these 2 positions. In both cases, you're 70 pips behind. But which position would you prefer to have?
The one on the right.
And why would you prefer to have the one on the right?
Well, the one on the left is about to crash.
Right, you're about to crash. And so that part about containing your opponent's checker, your opponent's blot, becomes really weak. It's hard to do that now, right? So the position on the left has poor timing, and we're going to start crashing because we don't have checkers we can play to keep our game. And the right one has good timing. We can roll our prime home and maybe have a board, a good board, when we eventually get a shot and hit it. Okay? So in other words, our timing is poor on the right-hand side. If you look at the cube actions, the one on the right, where our timing is good as white, if black were to consider doubling the cube, then it's a double and a take. There's a good chance that white on the right-hand side can maintain their board, which would push into take territory. But there's also the possibility that white will have to crash because they roll large numbers. So that makes it a double take. But the one on the left, what do you think the cube action might be for black? Should black double this?
Yes.
They're better off here, right?
Probably a drop.
It's probably a drop. In fact, it's too good to double. Right? Black should play on for a possible gammon.
Yeah.
Okay. So what should we try to do when we play against a back game? Do not hit if it improves their timing. Hit if it hurts their timing. Okay. So going back to one like this right here. This is something like this right here. Let's say they had a blot here. And we had a blot here. Let's say they had a blot right here. And we had a blot right here. And if we roll an ace and we hit them, we can potentially take away some of their timing. Because these two checkers out here, these 1, 2, 3, and maybe take one away from here, right? And move it to here. These three checkers are what black can play before they have to start breaking down their prime. If they can hold their prime longer, then we have a better chance of crashing our board. But by hitting the checker out here for white, we send it behind, and now they only have two checkers in their outfield. If they can't escape this other checker, then they only have two checkers to play with. They have less timing, assuming we contain that checker, and until black starts to crack down here. So not hit if it improves their timing, hit if it hurts their timing. So there's situations like that. We can try to get hit to improve our timing. We can prime our opponent. And we can play pure, which means putting the checkers where they should be. And oftentimes that means putting a blot where that checker wants to be. Maybe we want to make that point. Maybe we want to get hit. Because when we're defending against a back game, getting hit isn't as bad as if we're playing a non-back game. Okay? Where hit can really be bad for us. Okay, so hint. These are the answers to all of the following positions, basically. Okay. So let's go to XG and look at position 2.0. Okay. And what are we trying to think about here? Who do you think might be winning? It's actually hard to say, right? It's according to XG, it's pretty even. Let's see, what am I trying to do here? So from this position, if black is on roll, and if they roll, missing two checker right here. If they roll a 6-3, should they hit both of these checkers right here?
You can hit twice.
Hit white. Should they hit white? Hit both of these guys?
Yep.
Okay, let's give them a 6-3 and see. Okay. So first of all, we have to look at what kind of game plan black is playing and what kind we're playing against, right? What kind of game plan we're playing. We're playing a priming game. Okay? This position right here, they're actually playing a holding game with the goalkeeper, right? They don't have two anchors, so they're not playing a back game. So that might give you a hint about whether they should be hitting both of these checkers right here. Yes, they should. Boom, boom. They're not playing necessarily a back game with more than one anchor, and they don't want to hit you. They're playing a holding game, and they may be able to roll their prime on it. Okay. Now compare that to this right here. Oops, that's what's going on. Okay. Here, black is playing a backgame. They have two anchors on our inner board at the 1-3 backgame. Could black hit here? Why should they hit?
They could make that 7-point have a 3-point back game.
Right. If they make this right, we're kind of squeezed, right? We've got some playability here, but these 7 checkers will be stuck back here. So we can hit it, but let's look at the difference between make it white's turn. Okay, this is what white's equity looks like right now. Okay, it's going to take a little while to work. But the point of it is when we compare this position right here to when we're hit, the change in equity isn't that great. Whereas in the other one, that was a holding game, the change in equity was bigger. So here, 56 for us, 43. But when they hit us, with the 6-3, I thought I would remember this right here. We were 56 as white, but even if they hit both of our checkers right here, what is our winning chances? Well, it turns out that they drop to about 60, drop to 62%. Hmm. 37.62, 37 for them. They rolled a good number, right? But when you compare it, so that's how much we lost versus the two, right? Versus from their point of view, in this position actually thinks that white, I'll do it from the right side, black, white. What do you do from white's point of view? Thinks that we're about 77%. And when we are hit, with the 6-3, look what happens. Right? We drop from the 77 to 50%. So a much bigger difference in equity when we're hitting this type of position, a holding game, versus in a back game. So that's why in a back game, we put our checkers where we want them to be. We don't worry as much about getting hit because it doesn't hurt us as much. So what's happening here? We're playing a 2-3 back game. And what happened to our position? We went crunch, right? So look at our winning chances. Only 8%. Versus similar position, but now we have timing. Okay. Now we're actually the favorite. We have 55% chance of winning. We're favored in the chance of just plain winning the game, but they win a lot more gammons than we do. Okay. Every number plays for them. If they roll a 6, the 6 has to go from 7 to 1. And all the smaller numbers all play. So this is a strong holding, back game, if we have the timing to hold it. So we prefer this over crunching. Okay. We roll a 5-3 in this position. We have some hints about what the good things are. What kind of game plan are we playing? We're priming, and we're also defending against the back game. What kind of a game plan are they following?
Well, they're playing a back game.
Back game, right? So they're playing a contact game plan, but specifically a back game.
Yep.
They have a checker on the bar, which is good for their timing, but their timing is actually kind of suspect, right? So what does it say about hitting their other checker? Should we do that with the 3? Should we hit the other checker? We're going to put 2 on the bar. I would say not so good because it gives them a chance to dance. And if they dance, they're going to hold their position. Nothing's going to be worse.
Better to move out.
Better move out, right?
Yep.
So that's where we move out with the 5. Let's go with blue. Our checker here.
And that board will crash.
How should we play the 3?
Keep going.
Keep going right here. That's one possibility. Oh, we can do even better than that. Yeah, we were used to hitting all the time, right? But here we want to get hit. We want our timing to be improved. So what if we play the 5 out and then we dump the checker here to the 2 points? Now, if they roll a 2, we're sent back. And our chance of getting stuck there are not so great. They don't really have much of a prime. And we're going to have a checker out in the outfield we can keep playing with until we have to crack something here, right?
Yep.
So the best play is right
Is
here.
that the best play?
Yep, coming out and forcing them to hit us with a 2 if they roll like a 2-4, 2-5, 2-6, right? And they might even hit us with other 2s, not realizing they're helping us. Okay. Also, I'm sorry, double 2s also force them to hit us. What kind of a game plan are we playing? We're defending against a back game, right? And they're playing a contact game plan, specifically a back game, because they've got two anchors. So how should we play this? I'm going to get some water. I'll be right back. So you guys think about this.
Oh, yeah. About 13 down, hit. Keep going and cover the 5 point.
Okay, who's going to be the spokesman for the group?
Alan's already started talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Alan.
Agree with Alan.
Okay, what do you guys think?
I know what I would do. I don't know what everybody else would do.
I would agree with you, Alan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd bring
go with that.
13 down, hit on the 9 point, and then keep going and cover the 5 point.
Yeah, what could be easier than that, right? You got a 5-point prime now, you send them back.
Yeah.
But you're helping their timing, right?
Hmm.
So maybe we should reconsider. This is a back game we're defending against.
So 2 down to the 9 point.
Okay, that's a possibility too, right?
Yeah.
We'll have a blot on the 13 point. Blot right here. Let's have a blot right here. And maybe we'll get hit pretty quickly. Okay, so that's starting to get to the right idea. Okay. What about this one right here? We make our 5 point. We start to clear this out here. If they don't hit us, we're going to have a pretty solid position. If they do hit us, not a big deal. We're going to have to give up one of their anchors. They've got a blot on the 6 point. Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to change our thinking a little bit, right?
Yeah, different ways to see it. Huh?
Is it generally a good idea to try to get them to break the anchors?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's good. Unless their position is perfect, right? Maybe they have a solid prime over here. Then we have to tread more carefully and if we let them hit us by breaking an anchor, they don't care because they've got a solid prime. So in general, if you're going to leave a shot, you try and do it before they're completely developed in any type of position.
Yeah.
But, we're in the opening phase. We're trying to take away half the roll. We're trying to hurt them in the race. We're in the attacking game plan. We're trying to hit their blots in our inner board, deny them an anchor. In a priming game, maybe we want to send them back behind our position. In a racing game, we want to hit them so we get a better situation with the race. But here we're playing against a back game. And it's not a bad idea to go backwards too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we'd be doing. If they hit us, we'd be going backwards here. But they don't hit us, we're gonna have solid positions. They might forego hitting us because they realize that they've got enough timing out here to develop a strong position. So we've got to look at, we have to look at the ways that you do not help their timing. Okay, so especially if it's tenuous. Which one are we up to now? 5? This is it right here, right? Okay. How do we play a 2-4 here? Well, it's similar to the previous position, right? We've identified game plans. We don't really want to help their timing. They are behind 42 pips. So for an ace 1-2 back game, remember we said that you'd prefer to be at least 87 pips behind? Well, they're too close to us in the race, which means they can go crashing. If we hit them, then we're helping them out. So part of the answer is stepping out without hitting. Now, how do we play the 2? What's the point we really want to make?
4.
64.
4 point.
Right, 6 to 4. 4 points on the one that we really want to make. But we can slot it right now. We don't mind getting hit because they don't have a strong position on their front side.
Right.
And if we make it, that's a big gain. So basically, both Palmer Grill and Kent Golding, or KG, would say, put your checkers where they belong. Kent Golding used to use the term pretty positions. You wipe out all your opponent's checkers, and you look at just your checkers, make pretty positions with your checkers. Okay. So let's turn it around this time. So there are a lot of plays, but the important thing is not to hit with the 2, and it's best to slot, right? Number 6. Okay, we've got a 5-2 now. We're the one playing the back game now.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be the spokesperson. Remember what some of our guidelines were? Don't help their timing. We want to hurt their timing. We can hurt their timing. Build a prime. Drop checkers behind that prime. So the part that the checker I would reach for immediately would be this one right here. And play the 2 up. Now we can leap out into the outfield with a 5 or a 6. So that's what I would grab right away.
Yep. Forget about the 24.
Okay. Is this guy a good thing to be back here, or a bad thing?
Good thing.
Good thing, right? Covering more of their inner board and making it harder for them to just dump checkers back there and come home safely. I just had the thought, I was playing somebody, I had a back game, and they put a bunch of checkers on their ace point while they're still clearing points out here. Right? Well, not the right thing to do.
And if we hit them off the 4 point, that's also not.
So maybe that, right? Maybe we can gain timing if they're forced to hit us. About just leaping out. By coming out, we don't have to roll that 5 or 6 after we position our checker to escape. Now we have all these blots out here, but not such a bad thing, because if they hit us, we can make more anchors in their board. Okay. We see the second play. That's an error, but not a blunder, to bring a checker to that point so you can get out. Okay. And this is a blunder. We put our checker where we want it out here so we can leap out. But now we're decreasing our flexibility.
How about making an anchor on the 4 point? That's a blunder.
Making the 4 point is a blunder right here.
Okay.
Because we might be, if they dance with a combination of 4 and 6, 4 numbers, right? Double 4, double 6, 6, 4, 4, 6. Then we're helping them in their timing.
Right.
They'll be able to maintain their front board here longer. Okay. We don't want to help them like that. So, oh, well, one more thing about that last position right there. Which was that? Number 6, is it? Yeah. We don't make this point because we're not playing an attacking game plan. We've got all these checkers back here.
Mhm.
Right, we got 6, 7 checkers in the zone. Not nearly enough to execute an attacking game plan. Okay. Number 8. What happened? It is number 7. Why didn't it come up? Whoa. We're gonna have to do it again. Let's see. Make sure that it's not there somewhere. Then not seeing it. Nope, it's not there. Okay, so the position that we want. It's a 187 and 104, 125. Missing a checker somewhere. It's not there. Okay, that's right. Okay, now white just rolled double aces. What should they do? What should we do? What would we do if we're playing mochi?
24 to 22 for both of them.
Why would we want to do that?
Because you don't need to be as far behind.
Right, we don't want to be as far behind to win this thing, right? We had really great timing. We might want to consider leaving it there 1 and 2 points. But we have a chance now by either moving 2 checkers to here instead of these guys right here, right?
Mhm.
Instead of these guys right here. So we have a 1-3 back game. Okay. That's better. You don't need as much timing, but you can do even better than that by doing what Kathy says. And going like this, right? Or making a 2-3 back game, right?
Mhm.
Because now you don't need as much timing to hold that. I mean, 2 of the checkers really want to go to the 5 point. That's going to have to wait, right? We have a chance to hit two blots over here.
Yep.
That's only going to help their timing. It's going to hurt us because we're going to have poorer timing, and it's going to help their timing. So we can change the amount of pips we need by pushing that anchor right there.
Yeah.
But the initial position right here, where did it go? I just had the evaluation here a second ago. So if we use the table in Mochi's book, he's just kind of making these numbers up. But this gives you a general idea. With the 1-2 game, we said that he thinks you need at least 87 pips and maybe even more than that, right? Maybe 100 would be more comfortable, 125 be more comfortable. And with the 1-3 game, I was thinking maybe you need about 59 pips. And with a 2-3 game, like this one becomes, it's 48 pips, right? So you need about 40 pips less of timing by pushing it and making it a 2-3 back game.
Big difference.
Big difference, yeah. So now if you kept it like this, your timing would be suspect. Did I set this up right? We own the cube. 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2. Am I looking? Oh, I'm probably looking for the wrong side. Checker play this guy right here. Okay. How did they get flipped? You're going to have to wait again. Okay. But some of the numbers that he has inside his table, if you're playing a 4-5 back game, and again, all of this depends on a lot of other features of the position. But if it's a fairly prototypical 5-4 back game, you can take, if you're even 4 pips ahead, 5-3, maybe you need to be 27 pips behind. A 2-5, maybe 32 pips behind. 3-4, maybe 37. So you see, as you go deeper and deeper, more and more pips are required. Okay? So in this situation, playing the double aces by improving your anchors, improving your back game to one where you've essentially moved all these checkers back here, back 40 pips by coming here. This is a much better play. Okay, so second best play is making. Okay, so the best play, you got to see that etch into your memory. Right? Second best is making that 5-point. And look what happens when you try and pick up two more blots. It's way down here somewhere. Okay, let's see, you keep your 2 checkers there and you go pick up those 2 blots. It says 2.5 times Whopper with cheese, right? Because you're just helping them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good to know that.
So what are we going for now? Number okay, 8.0, I think. This has to do with doubling. You're white. When can you double against this right here? It was Bill Roberti who first came up with the basic rule that if you've cleared to just 3 points ahead of them, it's probably going to be a double drop. So here's where you want to think about doubling. And what do you think this is right here as white? You think this is a double?
Seems like a double.
Right here. And cube action, good. So this sort of position, we have four points to clear. It's usually right around the border of take draw. So XG thinks that this is maybe no double. Okay? Thinks that black still has almost 34% chance to win. Isn't that pretty amazing? You think, oh my God, I'm sunk here. I've got these 2 anchors. My chances to get a shot are not that great. I'm 65 pips behind. Yet you actually get enough shot equity to make this tape because you're not going to win this by winning the race. Right? So in general, 4 points to clear, you want to think about doubling. 3 points to clear, you may have missed your market already. It starts to get into pass territory. Oh. Yeah, I already rolled it out. Okay. This is a rollout, so I didn't have to go through that rollout position. Roll. And this is for having 3 points to clear. You see now it's a clear double. And when it's around 1.0, it's right here, it's at 90, not 0.977, right? When it gets close to 1.0, if you get higher than that, then it's a pass. Yeah. So you haven't lost your market here. You should come close to losing your market. 73 pips difference. And what's amazing is that black can still take this. They have enough shot equity to win this thing. So look at this one right here. Wait, do you guys need a break?
Okay, short break.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us what timer to put on.
Okay, plan on 5 minutes or less. Okay, so in other words, you guys put your hands up with the reaction thing, right? When you're
Okay.
ready to come back.
Okay.
Okay.
I needed a break. So we'll have to take the Subaru, because their luggage won't fit in the back. Okay. No, the Tesla. Hello. I'll take care of that.
Okay, they're off the bed.
Okay.
And we do have some garbage.
I'll take care of that too.
Leave it there.
Yeah,
And we only had about four recyclables, so it's less more on the counter.
okay, thanks. Thank you very much for the check. I deposited it last
It
night.
didn't bounce.
No,
Oh,
we have one more hour or another 45 minutes to
That's
go in our lesson. So,
well, I think that Jack could like really drop us off to get into the airport.
I don't think so. No,
Good, I can put it in my.
yeah,
I had it in my backpack.
yes. Yeah, it's all covered. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, we're all set. Whatever.
Okay, we have another 45 minutes to go in the morning lesson. Okay. Hey, Alan, Kathy and I are gonna be a bit late. We've got to take our parents to the airport, but we'll see you at Windward Passage.
Okay, right. Your parents have been here for a couple of weeks?
They've been here for a couple of weeks, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I see Subu.
Hi.
And I don't see Rada and Sydney. Rada. I'm going to lower my hand. And sharing screen again. Smaller, hiding all those controls. And we have a 5-1 to play here. Okay, so we know all of what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to ruin their timing. We're trying to improve our timing if we can. We're trying to get, so basically if we get them a crunch, right, their chances of winning are low. So we've seen some where it's right to slot. Right? So if we rolled a 4-1 or something, we'd slot right here, right? With the 4. We wouldn't worry about our checker on the 15 point being hit. Well, can we extend this concept a little bit more with our 5-1? This one is kind of hard for me to digest and accept. What Mochi did in his game, his match, he made the 10 point, which is 2 checkers here. He thought easy peasy, right? I've got pretty good timing. I can clear this position here, and I'll be in good shape. But XG can see a little further than we can sometimes. Sometimes it sees things not quite well enough because it has trouble with the containment game, right? So it thinks, this prime is important, but it's not as important as we think. So it might want to slot with the 5, but it doesn't want to leave this bar point blotted because direct 6s from our ace point would be able to hit it from their 24 point. So if we're going to blot on that position, maybe we can do it from the 8 point. Why break a perfectly good 6 plan to do that? The reason is that we are trying to gain timing. So this took me a while to really get my head around.
That was Mochi's move?
Now Mochi did
The 10 point.
where is it? Ah, there you go. He did more than a whopper here.
He did that. Okay.
Yep.
XG doesn't like that.
Well, not so good, right? You're going to win 55% of the time, 30%, 31% of that was from the gammons. Compared to what XG thinks is the best play, you're going to win 3% more. And your gammons pretty much stay the same. Maybe a little more gammons. Crazy, huh? But if we follow the
Looks like you gotta be at the dentist. 11
idea of improving our gammon and ruining their gammon,
afterwards. Yeah.
maybe this is right. But then again, maybe XG is making this recommendation because it does not know it doesn't play the containment game well. So this may be, you go down all the ways where you have a good containment game. It doesn't, so in other words, let's say it actually does get a blocked hit because of what we just did. It undervaluates the containment game because it doesn't play them very well. If we make this play, right, and then XG comes in with a, let's say a 2-5. What is this? This is 9.0. Maybe we'll save it. No, yeah, we'll save it. Let's say black rolls a 2-5. What should they do? Well, the 2 is forced, right?
They could hit twice.
They could hit twice, yeah? Well, that can't be so bad, right? We have a chance to go forward. There's other blots out here too, right? There's a blot here, there's a blot here. They could end up putting 4 blots up and then priming us in. That can't be so bad. Well. Oh, I didn't start that. Okay. But can we do better than that? Maybe it's not right to give up our second anchor right now.
Yeah,
Maybe we should just play to make this point right here. Another point we need for our prime. But again, in this case, XG recognizes that, right? But it might be the case that it plays that position poorly, so it undervaluates the chances in the containment game. And it would affect all the previous equities. Okay? But in this case, it sees the value of not vacating that other anchor right here. But look, the second best play is to hit. So it thinks this is the best play right here. And it thinks that this one is the second best, hitting twice. Because you do have a chance to go forward. Okay.
Mike, does it do better with containment games if you roll them out farther?
No,
Oh.
it doesn't. Frank Berger proved that with experiments. And it just basically reinforces what it thinks it knows. So it doesn't do better. You'd think that it should, right?
Yeah.
It's going further into the future, but no, it doesn't really do that. So Frank Berger's BG Bliss plays containment games a little bit better than XG does. But overall, XG is a better, stronger player. But for the containment games, Frank's program does better. Okay, so let's go to uh-oh. You guys see 10? I don't see 10 here. Okay, we can throw it in because it's an interesting position right here. We should have it. Okay. All right, game plans here. What is everybody playing? What's Black playing?
Well, Black's playing a priming game.
So trying to defend against that back game that White is playing. Sorry, there we go. And so does White want to help Black's timing? No, they don't, right? They don't want to help it. And no matter what happens, they don't want to help the timing. And there's not a lot of playability with Black checkers before they have to start crunching or breaking down their prime. So what could their best play be if they roll double aces? What do you think their best play is? Because we looked at game plans. We know that we're playing a back game. We don't want to help their timing. So that should mean that we don't want to hit this spot right here, right? So we're sending them back 12 pips. And if they dance, then that's good for them.
we can move our 23 up to 21, 22.
We can do that. We can advance these, but we've already got a good anchor position right here, right?
Okay.
Really happy with all this. We're going to get a lot more shots by keeping 3 anchors if we can hold onto all of them. And if we eventually have to vacate an anchor, we're going to want to vacate the front one. Okay. So a lot of plays we could do maybe something like this right here, right?
Yep.
Or this one right here. A lot of things that we can do. But the important thing is not to hit this block. Right.
Mhm.
Okay. That's the important thing. Yeah, many people will instinctively hit and they'll shuffle the back checkers or back anchors in some way. But we are really happy with this triple anchor, right? Okay. So these should be easy now. Quiz problem. Actually, let's do this one first. Okay. We were playing a contact game plan with the 23 anchor, and we managed to hit a blot. We've got a strong position right here. You think we can double this right here without looking at the bottom left? I mean, we're down in the race by 36 pips. Can we contain them enough that we can win this? That we can double now? Actually thinks yes. You're good enough. You've got a solid double here. Well, this is the flip side, not the black side where it's defending against the contact game plan, but after we've got a shot and we're containing this blot. Even though we're 36 pips behind in the race, we've got a good game. Okay. What should our thinking be here? Do we want to improve their timing? 9, yet, right? You don't want to improve their timing. You want your time to be improved, though. Can we do that by forcing them to hit us if possible?
Mm.
What do you think? Is there something we can do that will force them to hit us? Maybe we can strew blots in front of them. Maybe we can strew 2 blots in front of them
You bring the 13 down,
with the 4 and 6.
4, 6, yeah. Leaves 3 blots.
Oh, yeah, there's okay.
Leaves 4.
That's good. Yeah, you make 3 blots, right? Okay, I didn't even see that one. Gosh. Okay. So let's see. What XG thinks is the best play. That's right here. You have 2 blots. Maybe because, let's say they roll double 5s. That's going to be actually pretty bad for them. Okay. Versus if we play 2 down, right? Which is not so bad, right? And then Alan's innovative play, making actually 4 blots by playing the 8 to the 4, right? So that's not so bad either, right? It's an error, I think mostly because it takes away double 5s from black. But it's the right idea, right? You want to get hit. You want to dance once you get hit. You want to be able to have them crunching a little bit. So when you get a shot, you can escape those checkers that are back here. Okay? So good play, Alan. You know, you think, oh my God, we don't want to leave blots. This is backgammon. We want to win the race, right? Sometimes you have to go backwards. Okay. What are you guys thinking here? We're on the bar, so I'll play the ace for you. I'll bring it in. Okay, what do you guys think should happen with the 4? Did we hit him on one of our, either a 7-point or 9-point? Should we step up? No, we give him one of the anchors if we do that. What if we just do nothing in terms of hitting them? What if we just drop a checker to the 4-point? Now everything's got to move. Right? So if you are going to hit them, this would be the better play. Your starting point you want to make in terms of your blockade. Okay? But the important thing is do not hit them. Don't help their timing. Okay, this is quiz problem number 3. You guys tell me what we're going to do. So should white be doubling here? Well, they should at least be thinking about it, right? Instead of just rolling the dice and trying to play it out. Should they double?
Well, you had previously told us that with 3 points before a 2-point anchor, we should be thinking about a double. And XG on the previous example you showed, XG said it was a double and a take.
Right. So that compared a slightly, so that's good, right? You want to think about the double. If you only have 3 points declared, it could be in drop territory already. This 4-5 back game is pushed further than what we had before. A little further. I think it's further, maybe not, but it's far enough further up here that it gives us chances to dump checkers behind. Right this time. And look at whether this is a cube or not. So this should be, according to what we figured out, it should be a double, right? The question is, can black take this? Well, because their anchors are pushed so far forward, easy for us to come past them and or stack and not leave a blot that they have to pass us now. A really solid pass. Oh, so note about the 5-1 holding game. This is not much difference in terms of equity if someone just had just the 5 anchor right here. What this does is often gets you gammon more often. Okay, so sometimes it's better not to have that point and have just the 5 anchor maybe. Okay, número 4. Okay, what should we do here? What's going on? Gonna sit here till you're gonna say something.
Well, I don't think you want to hit, I don't think white wants to come on with a 2,
Right.
because if you hit black, you help their timing.
Right. So in general, you do not want to help their timing, so you don't hit, right? I mean, even if you go to a 2-3 back game here, which is a better back game, but you could be helping out their timing enough that even that won't be good enough. Okay, somebody else talk. What about hitting their checker on our 12 point? Well, we'd have to hit 2, right? That would really help their timing.
We don't want to do that.
I want to do that.
You can bring 13 down to 11.
We
Leave
could,
a block.
but having, if so, it means coming in on the ace, this point right here, right? With the ace.
24 to 22.
Right, we want to move it up to this point right here.
Oh, okay.
Want to be, we're now poised to escape with a 6.
Ready to go
You
in?
don't want these extra checkers back here on the 24 point. Want them to be up here, we can get out. You think it's pretty big a difference by hitting or not hitting? I am going to sit here till somebody says maybe, right? Okay, well, you can see now, right? That not hitting is head and shoulders above anything else.
No hitting.
And not till we get down to here, 1.5 times the Whopper. Right? And we make the 23 points. So that's the best of the hitting plays. But the best one, according to XG, is just like we figured out, right? Not to hit and then step up to the edge. And anything that doesn't step up to the edge, like this right here, and just playing 8 to 6, is poor because we're stuck back here.
Still have one to move.
Okay. Okay, this is number 5. What's going on here? Okay, so look at this, 4 checkers off the board.
The race.
Okay. If you had a choice of where you're going to put all those 4 checkers, where would you put them? Where would you put those 4 checkers on the board?
Okay, I'll bite. I'll say on the 2 and 3 points.
Well, you took a good bite out of the apple. Okay. Let's see. These guys right here. That gives you the strongest position against their 6' formation. Okay. Anything else wouldn't be as good. We did something like this right here, where you're going to maybe get more shots. Your timing's suspect.
Yep.
And you might start crashing or have a poor prime. Right? But in terms of, so let's see if we can do from Black's point of view. It is Black's point of view. We do a cube action. It says that it thinks that Black is a what favorite here? 55-76. It thinks Black is that much of a favorite. And it gets about a third of the, about 30% of gammons. Okay. Whereas, so where did I take those guys from? With a full 6 prime, right?
It had a 6 prime.
Yeah. Okay, then whereas we're here and Black is thinking about the cube. They were 55% with 30% gammons before. And now they're about the same, but their gammon chances have gone down. And our winning chances are about the same, but the big thing is we are not going to get as gammon as much. Okay? So this is the best you can do if you put those 4 checkers on the board. Okay, we'll do one more, okay? I've got 15 altogether, but we'll do up to number 6 right now. Okay. What do you think? I can do this.
6-2.
Yes, that works. Okay, 6-2 to play. Can we win this going forward? We are down 30 pips in the race. going forward means trying to play regular backgammon by just building a prime in front of them and winning the game.
Mhm.
But we're 30 pips behind. Maybe we could do it. Maybe it's possible. Can we do better than that? So what have we been trying to stress here so far? And we're defending against the back game. We don't want to.
I mean,
Ooh. What if we just go there without hitting? Right, we haven't helped their timing. We did what looks like the obvious play. Hit them and make them 5 prime. Did we make them a whopper? Look at what the second best play. That's a pretty big error. Look at the second best play. Why is this one good compared to this guy right here? What's better about hitting twice?
You have enough time to start filling in your home board with 2 checkers off.
That's one, right? But remember, one of the reasons that we really want to hit them is to keep them from making a second anchor. If they have 3 checkers, they can't make 2 anchors. Right? Whereas if you hit them also, we put 2 checkers up, so they have the potential to make another anchor. But now it's hard for them to do it because you've taken away their slot for the 3 anchor. Okay. It's sinking in, sinking in, sinking in. Okay, discussion. Anything?
Yeah, Mike, I feel like I've been hit upside the head with a sledgehammer. The game used to be so simple. The more the other guy's checkers you put on the bar, it used to be really easy to play the game. Now with this timing thing that I got to think about, you're giving me a headache.
Right. Maybe
the opposite of what you
right?
normally think. No.
Last
I'm
week was-
glad it happens to you too, Ed, because you're so ahead of me. I like hearing it. Sorry.
Yep. Backgammon ain't that easy. Like Walter Price says in the very beginning of his book, you know, you have a chance to go ahead in the race, and sometimes that's not right. You know, even though
No.
you'd be winning the race, and he says backgammon's not that easy. Yes. Wow.
The
Okay.
back game makes it quite complicated.
It does. So, I mean, you might not play a back game very often. There's an important slide I do want to show you guys.
But they're lots of fun when they work.
Yeah,
Right, they're on lots of fun.
you're good when you can win it, right?
Kathy, remember that when he had the 1 and the 2?
Yep.
I mean, that was almost from our game, but neither one of us had
Yeah.
thought of it. I was deciding between moving, remember all 4, or
Uh-huh.
but not the move that you ended up with. And now I'll probably never get that again, right?
Okay, so this is important here, right? When might you want to play a back game? Would you want to play a tournament match, a double match point?
They're pretty risky.
Pretty risky, but they're risky because you get gammoned.
Yeah.
You can't get gammoned at a double match point.
Huh.
Right, there's only the
Oh,
winning
yeah.
ones. So if you're playing in a game that's essentially double match point, I don't fear going into a back game. That's what give me the best winning
Okay.
chances.
It'd be your best chance to win. Yeah.
Right? But what if you're far behind or far behind in a tournament match? Do you
And
mind
you don't
playing?
want to lose the gammon.
Well, you're already way behind.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Twice as much, right? So you would be willing to play it in that situation, right? What about for far ahead or ahead in a tournament match? Then you think about not doing it. You don't want to lose 2 points or 4 points.
Yeah.
So what about for money or at the start of a long match?
Probably not.
Probably not, right? Because you get gammon. And that's the thing with the back games. You can get gammoned. That's why equity-wise, if gammons count against you, then yeah, you really don't want to do that. But in tournament situations where you're double match point, right? Then you would, or maybe your opponent's 1 or 2 points away. And it doesn't matter if you lose 4 points or 2 points, then yes, you can play that back game. Mochi estimates that he plays about 2 to 3% of his games that have back games. Yeah, not very much. But he stresses that they can have a big impact on a match. Because you'll often win or lose 2 or 4 or 8 points, right? 8 points if you ship that cube back. And that's a pretty big impact on the match if that happens. So because there weren't any good books on it at the time, he chose to write a section of 1 chapter of Masterclass as back game strategy. But since then also Alex Svehian came out with a book. I haven't read it yet. It's just on the back end. Okay. Ready? Carla, the weather looks really good over here.
Yeah, well, I might be a few minutes late because I'm only half dressed.
There's
You can never see it. And I still have other, and that's not my real living room. You know that, you guys.
we know that because those
You got a
pillows,
nice house there.
Yeah,
the
I
cushions never
wish.
move, right? The pillows are always the same place.
Yeah. Well, actually, I fluctuate between 2. I think I have 3 different living rooms that when I'm in the mood for blue, when I'm in the mood for San Francisco style, and when I'm in the mood, whatever that one is. But I had to test it out today to still see if it worked, so I had to put a top on. Joke is, you guys, you wouldn't want to see me in my raggedy old undies, okay? Sorry, guys.
Okay, we'll see you in a while.
Okay, see
Okay.
you guys.
Yes,
Okay.
Subu, hope you
Yeah.
and Teresa can make it after all.
Yeah, it's not raining here.
Oh, good. Well, then,
Yeah.
no, I think we're good. I think the storm's
It's-
going to hit like they said
It's
tomorrow.
light rain in Kailua, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, and we had that rain this morning. Okay, bye.
Okay,
Gotta
so
go.
Cuba, you and
Bye.
Chris are leave right now.
Yeah.
Okay, have a good trip to the airport.
I got to leave too.
Okay.
I mean,
Hmm?
get ready.
Bye, Subu.
Okay, bye.